Another episode of that username though. Today we're doing 1 year review of my Lotus Evora. 2011 Lotus Evora is relatively simplistic. You've got a few basic, there we go. You've got a few basic knobs, you've got your shifter, and then there's some buttons on the sides of the steering column that are hidden while you're in the driver's seat, as you'll see. October 5th, 2017, I purchased a 2011 Lotus Evora. The car had 4,900 miles on it when I bought it. Right now the ABS light is on, and I will touch base on that video. Lotus Evoras in general are powered by a 3.5 liter V6. This is the same motor that they put in the Toyota Camrys. My car is naturally aspirated. They do offer a supercharged variant. The NA stock is about 290 horsepower. And this is a mostly stock car. And I say mostly, so what I've done to it since I've gotten the car is, this obviously is the non-tech package for the Lotus enthusiast. You'll see that there is no cruise control, no heat. That is an aftermarket double-din radio, which I installed the winter after owning the car. So it has a Kenwood double-din radio. I did change the splash screen, which some of you may have seen. So upon start up of the car, it does show that the Lotus logo. It does not show the Evora logo that comes factory. The other thing that some of the Lotus enthusiasts will note is that the car is a little bit louder than stock.
Let me hear that. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Which adds a little bit of pep to it. It also subtracted weight from the vehicle. So with the Evora being the heaviest production car that Lotus has made, I felt that it was only right to take some weight out and also have it be a little bit louder. With the stock exhaust, the car definitely sounded like a regular V6. Hold on. So there's a dog that's stray, trying to get a name tag from it. Come on, bud. Hey, I'm Buddy. Hi. What? Is this your dog?
Yeah.
Okay. You want me to walk him back?
No, my mom's coming.
Oh, okay. Dog, the owner was only a couple houses down, so they were on the way over. Said that he goes there all the time because there's always people playing baseball. Still makes me a little nervous, but I did the right thing. I stopped and made sure that the dog was okay. So anyway, back to the review. So added the exhaust, which definitely wakens the car up as far as noise level. So it makes me happy there. As far as the 0 to 60, the specs say 0 to 60 is 4.9 seconds, which claims that it's a little bit slower than the Lotus Elise. However, you get the power in the lower RPMs. So here, whereas the Elise, you had to rev it up to about 6,000 before anything happened. I've added a ceramic coating. G Technique is the coating that we used, and did the whole paint correction on the car, and then did the whole car ceramic coated. I then screwed up by power washing the finish off of the wheels. So when I got that, the wheels did have the aluminum finish, powder coated them black, and they look outstanding. As far as how the car performs as any Lotus should. It corners magnificently. The acceleration is on point. I would like to get a little bit more power out of it, so at some point I may do headers and cold air intake from BOE, so it'd be a BOE stage 2. In the first week of owning the car, I hit a tire with the front end. That is, or can be found in the YouTube channel as well. I did $15,000 worth of damage to the front end. I only had to pay $100 for my deductible due to it being a comprehensive claim. So all things considered, the car performs great. Low-ish maintenance costs. The one issue I'm running into is the ABS. Again, the dealers are the only people that are going to be able to scan that. So this one is a sensor for sure because it comes and goes. As long as I stay under 10 miles an hour, the ABS lights do not come on for the trip. So once I hit above 10 miles an hour, the rotation of the wheels, the ABS sensor goes out of whack. So I've got two options. I can either replace all the sensors, or I can bring it to the dealer and just replace the one correct one. I did have the dealer do the first maintenance on it, the first yearly annual maintenance. So the oil change, I believe that was $300 or $400 for the car. So you do pay a little bit more if you bring it to the dealer for the annual maintenance, but all around, it's not a terribly high maintenance car. The Toyota motor, you can buy Toyota parts, you can buy a Toyota filter. It's not like it's a high revving car where you need the Lotus filter. Now that is highly debatable between Lotus owners. But nonetheless, I felt it was relatively fitting being the first week of October. And like I said, I picked the car up October 5th of 2017. I felt it was only fitting to do a one-year review of owning the car. It's given me nothing but smiles every time I drive it. I did have to get comfortable with it without the sport mode engaged for the first little bit of driving it. And after driving it for the first few months of spring, I now only drive it in sport mode. Unless, of course, I'm trying to save fuel. Which, I mean, how often does that happen? So, all things considered, the car definitely, like I said, brings smiles every time I look at it. It's growing on me now that we're changing some things. Tint and black pack aesthetics should be coming shortly. If not, it'll be early next spring. But other than that, I mean, you know, what more do you really need to review for the car? The car performs well. The maintenance costs are low. The car looks great. It handles great. It now sounds great with the black exhaust. You know, one thing to keep in mind with any Lotus you buy, I experienced it with the Elise and definitely experienced it with this, is that if you're trying to stay low-key, this is not going to be the car for you. This car does draw attention, so keep that in mind when purchasing it. I've heard people buy Lamborghinis and say, well, I wasn't expecting the attention. The downside is that cars like this do attract attention. So it's not really one of those things that supercar or exotic car owners really think about when looking at vehicles. You know, they just think, oh yeah, I'm finally going to buy the car of my dreams. Sometimes the attention is a little annoying. Although sometimes it can be fun. You meet a lot of nice people. However, the annoying part, sometimes you're in a rush to go to a car meet, and obviously you're bringing your car, stop at the gas station for a quick stop, and it turns into a 10-minute conversation with a stranger. Again, not always a bad thing. You know, I'd say more good than bad, definitely. And for somebody like me, who I am a highly introverted person, it forces me to be a little bit extroverted, and that's good. It helps with my communication, my people skills, my person-to-person interaction. So, you know, this car has helped me in more than one way. But all in all, guys, the Lotuses have dropped immensely in prices, especially the Evoras. You can find a naturally aspirated for right around the $40,000 mark. And that's not bad considering what you're getting. You're getting a 3.5-liter V6 exotic / supercar if you will. You know, this car is always debatable of whether or not it is a supercar or exotic car. So leave your comments of what you think this classifies under, or if it's just a high-end sports car. Anyway, you get a 3.5 liter V6, either for 40 grand, it's going to be naturally aspirated. That looks outstanding, that handles outstanding. If you add some exhaust to it, sounds amazing. And for a little bit of money, the headers and cold air intake and tune are going to be about $4,500, and that would put it at about $300 to the wheel. So yeah, anyway guys, I know I got a little bit long-winded on this review. Be sure to like and subscribe. Help me get to the 1,000th subscriber mark, and subscribe down below, and we'll catch you guys later.